Hey, what up? It's Eric O'Brien for Way of the Warrior. A recap of UFC on FX. I would do this on my actual camera, but it, it appears to be missing, so I'm using the iPhone instead. So bear with me as I do this in one take. I want to make two quick announcements. If you've not had a chance to check out Jens Pulver's documentary, Driven, it's available for streaming on Netflix. It's very hard to watch, but very, very good. Gregory Bain did an amazing job, and if you liked Smashing Machine, you will love Jens Pulver's Driven. Also, Haywire, surprisingly good. I think Soderbergh did a masterful job of making Carano 90% ass-kicking, 10% talking, which seemed to be the perfect thing for her. So if you're interested in checking it out, you should. It's really not nearly as bad as you think it is. It's actually quite good. Think of, and I don't mean any insult to Bruce Lee fans, because I'm a huge Bruce Lee fan, but it's got that vibe of Enter the Dragon meets Ocean's 11. Kind of that whole thing going on. So if you like that sort of thing, you'll dig Haywire. On to UFC on FX, number one. Couple things to take away from this. Number one, Moorcraft looked in great shape, and he needs to remember one of the tenets of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is position before submission, because he would have won that fight 6 times over. Pat Barry looked awful. He looked as bad as Brock Lesnar looked against Overeem. Walking backwards, really tentative in his striking. He just didn't look like he either wanted to be there or belonged there. He got the win, but he certainly didn't win that fight. I mean, anyone who watched that fight, he was getting owned by Moorcraft before he got one off, and was very, very lucky. And he should, when he gets back to Death Clutch, he should remember that stuff. And as he continues to work on his jiu-jitsu defense, which obviously worked well because Moorcraft wasn't able to get in those positions, which was awesome, and he was able to get out, but he was being mauled quite handily for a while. It was not a great fight. Josh Neer, the exact opposite. His jiu-jitsu, slick, and Dwayne Bang Ludwig had that one won, but Neer was able to pull that one out, so good fight for Neer. And then that gets us to the main event and the questionable Melvin Guillard. 6 losses, all of them by submission, and nothing different on Friday night as he took on Jim Miller, who literally took everything that Guillard had to offer and then decided to choke him out as a thank you. And I think it was Ben Folks on MMA Fighting who said this, and I couldn't agree more. Somebody who is as slick on the ground as Jim Miller should not be able to be punched in the head that much and keep his wits about him, because he's a hard dude to manage. And a great fight upcoming for that guy. I don't know who they're going to put him against, if it's going to be Nate Diaz or Ben Henderson or Frankie Edgar or whatever they're going to do after the Edgar-Ben Henderson thing gets flushed out. But Jim Miller, 2012, it should be a great year for him. That was a great, great fight. As for Melvin, he becomes kind of a gatekeeper, and he's going to work his way up. He, in his mind, even after the fight, seems to think he's in a different place than he actually is, but he's a fun guy to watch when he keeps it striking, so maybe put him with somebody who wants to strike with him, and we can go from there. This weekend, we've got UFC on Fox 2. You got Bisping, you've got Sonnen, which is great, you got Phil Davis and Rashad, and we get to find out what's going to happen with John Jones. Now, this is what has transpired, I guess, if I can say it any other way. If Rashad is able to win, and if Rashad is able to stay healthy, he will fight John Jones in April. If that doesn't happen, it'll be Hendo. And Dana White said over the weekend that if Chael Sonnen wins this weekend, he will fight Anderson Silva. So all the stuff that Chael's been talking about where he wants to fight John Jones or GSP or Jesus Christ or whoever he wants to fight, it will be Anderson. It probably will be in Rio. It probably will be ridiculous. And it'll all come to fruition on Saturday night. But we'll cover that tomorrow in another video that I hope to actually cover using an actual camera. So have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.